Hello everybody and welcome back to the weekly VR news recap. As always, I am Mateo311 and today we have some pretty amazing news to go over. Everything from games that launched last week to new games that are coming out this week to Viveport confusing the hell out of everybody and potentially new VR hardware on the way soon. If you end up finding any of this information useful or you like these stories, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and leave your comments below. Just a quick additional note, for the holidays I am giving away up to $200 in Steam gift cards. All you need to do is join my Discord to enter. Okay guys, let's get into this. Now, the amount of games that has been releasing or just getting announced for VR lately is absolutely mind-blowing. And last week was no exception. Now, some of these games released what even seems like without any warning, and some of them were good. Are you guys ready for some Deathlap? Others not so good. So last week we saw the release of Deathlap for both the Oculus Quest and the Rift. Side note guys, I did play it with Revive on my Index. It works fine. Now the title is $20 and it's cross-buy and cross-play. It's definitely intense, but a little shallow. However, I did live stream it. It is a lot of fun. Now this game is being labeled Twisted Metal inspired, but it's really much more Mad Max meets Mario Kart than a Twisted Metal game. I will have a full review up for this game later in the week. Arizona Sunshine has made its way onto the Quest, which is actually a pretty impressive feat. I didn't think the game would ever be able to get ported onto a mobile platform. Now that port did, however, come with some pretty significant visual downgrades. And finally, trying to sneak in under the radar was the launch of Nostos. Now the hype behind this game was pretty insane, and it looks like the game is definitely not living up to expectations. Feedback has been pretty negative across the board, and one major standout was that VR was not a priority, as this game is having some significant performance issues. In truth, this title was probably only ready for an early access release. And it looks like this week we're gonna have something for everyone and the VR fun will continue. There are 3 games releasing this week that are definitely worth checking out, and the first one up is obviously Boneworks. As of recording this, it's only 1 day to the release of this game. I'm sure you're familiar with this title, as hype for it is only exceeded by that of Half-Life Alyx. I'm ready to jump right into this physics-heavy first-person shooter. Next up on the list is Budget Cuts 2, the sequel to the highly loved original title. I'm currently playing this title in preparation to cover it for release, and I have to say, it's looking really good. And finally, releasing this week is Disco Destruction. If you were looking for something different, well, here it is. We also got a gameplay reveal for an exciting new title called LAN. It looks like we're gonna have to keep an eye on this title for the future. Next up in the news is Viveport confusing everyone. First up on odd things that HTC did, well, they announced that Viveport actually supports the Oculus Quest now. But in truth, they were just showing people how to use the Oculus Link beta. So yes, if you plug your Oculus Quest into your PC with a proper cable, it will begin to function like a Rift S. This is all completely taken care of by the Oculus software, and Viveport has done absolutely nothing. So currently, HTC is standing on the shoulders of Oculus, screaming, "Hey everybody, look at me! I did a thing!" Viveport also recently announced Wi-Fi game streaming. Now this is something you can currently do with your Oculus Quest using software like Virtual Desktop or ALVR, but this is where things go a little bit sideways. Viveport's Wi-Fi streaming supports the Vive Focus Plus, which is basically an enterprise version of the Oculus Quest. Now I put enterprise in front because it's just a lot more expensive. From a hardware standpoint, it's basically the same thing. And this has to make you wonder, is HTC once again pushing their focus back to the enterprise level and not the consumer level? Wouldn't a native Oculus Quest app, which supported Wi-Fi streaming, make much more sense? Give this app away as part of the Viveport Infinity subscription, let it work with more than just Viveport titles, and get it working better than some of the current solutions out there, and then you have a winner. Don't focus this product on the $800 mobile headset that people aren't using. Last up on the VR news recap is Qualcomm pushing mobile VR tech to the next level. So Qualcomm has announced the XR2 platform, which is basically everything we need to push mobile VR and AR into the future. With support for much higher resolution up to 8K, 5G networks, increased CPU and GPU performance, and additional throughput for more cameras. This is undoubtedly going to be the hardware in the next generation of mobile VR headsets. They were also showing off some pretty impressive AR demos, and it's curious to see how this technology continues to emerge. But probably most exciting of all is Qualcomm is speculating that new headsets may be available in 2020. So the Quest 2.0 is actually looking much more likely than it was before. Okay everybody, thanks for hanging around for the weekly VR news update. These videos come out every single Monday, and I cover the last 7 days of stories that I find most interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on next time.